Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a review of the Bourjois Paris Healthy Mix Liquid Foundation, and it's going to be a review slash demo because as you can see I'm not wearing any makeup. I just wiped off all the foundation I was wearing today. So yeah, I'm also going to be actually applying this for you guys so you can see just how it looks when it's first applied, you know, how it covers the skin. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got quite a bit of acne going on right now. I don't know why, I've just been breaking out a lot this month. Sucks for me, but I guess it's good for you guys because you get to see how well it covers. So yeah, firstly I've got mine in the shade 51, which I believe is the lightest or the second lightest. I'm fairly sure it's the lightest shade. So the thing I've noticed with Bourjois Paris foundations is that the colour range is very suited for girls with the yellow undertones, which is good for me because that's what I've got. But if you're more pinky, you might have trouble finding one that kind of matches for you. And also this foundation doesn't oxidize, which is probably one of the best things. I have that problem with some of my foundations, but I have not had this problem with the Bourjois Healthy Mix, which is really good because it's basically the perfect colour match for me. Okay, so I'm just going to get straight into it. Packaging is pretty good. It's kind of like a plasticky container, but it feels quite sturdy, and what I love is that it comes with a pump. Not all foundations do that. So this foundation applies really easily. I like to just use my fingers and then just start rubbing it in, and I'm already wearing a primer. I should probably grab a mirror because I can't actually see what I'm doing. I put quite a bit on my nose because that's where I've got probably a lot of discoloration and acne scarring, so I put quite a lot there to just get rid of that. I'd say this foundation is light to medium coverage. It's definitely buildable, but you're not going to get like a full coverage from it. Okay, so I've done the nose and now I'm just going to be applying a little bit more to my face. I like to use my fingers when applying this foundation because I don't know, I just find this foundation really easy to apply and it just blends into the skin nicely. You can use a brush if you want to. Honestly, I think any method of application would be perfect with this foundation. As you can see, it's evening out my skin tone, but it's not completely covering the acne. It looks better than it did before, but it's not perfectly covered. For someone who suffers with acne and you're looking for a foundation that's going to cover it perfectly, you might want to try something a little bit more full coverage, or just use a really good concealer underneath this. I should point out I've got oily combination skin, so during the day my T-zone gets really oily and then just the rest of my face kind of stays the same. It says here that it's up to 16 hours perfectly glowing complexion and toned skin. I would definitely agree with the glowing skin part. It definitely leaves a really nice kind of satin finish to the skin. It looks really natural, just really beautiful. However, since I've got oily combination skin, I find that I've got to set it with a powder. I like to just use a translucent powder because since this is, can you guys see all that powder? Since the foundation is like the perfect shade for me, I like to use a translucent powder when setting it because I find that way I know for sure I've got the perfect colour match for my skin. So one thing I don't agree with this foundation is about the 16-hour lasting power. Definitely not. I think one of my main issues with this foundation is that it does not last 16 hours. For me, I find that like by around midday my T-zone is already quite oily and I have to powder it down. And by the end of the day, most of the foundation is actually already faded off. Like, I'll just notice on certain areas of my face, there's just not any foundation left. The one good thing that I will say about this foundation is that when it starts to fade away, it doesn't like start to seep into your pores. I've got that with certain foundations, usually more full coverage ones like Estee Lauder's Double Wear. I find that by the end of the day, even though the makeup is still there, it's kind of seeped into my pores and it just looks really unattractive. Good thing about this one is that it just fades away during the day. I mean, that might just be a good combination with the primer I'm using. Like this is the Inglot one and I've used it with other primers as well, and yeah, I just find that it kind of fades away rather than seeping into the skin, which for me is really good because I've got quite open pores and I hate when the foundation seeps into them. Okay, so that is the finished look once it's been powdered. Still got that nice kind of satin finish to it, but the T-zone doesn't look too dewy or too oily. If you're a dry skinned girl, I'd probably still powder, just lightly powder the T-zone area, but the rest of your face will be fine. It will just kind of give you like that nice moisture to the skin. So that is the end of the foundation demo. Bourjois Paris is available in Australia, in the UK, it's available in Paris, obviously, France. Not sure about the US. I read somewhere that it actually got pulled out of the US, so I don't know whether you guys can get it there. I'm not really sure. but it is available for us Aussie girls. You can buy it in Priceline, Target, Kmart. Another thing I don't like about this foundation is that although it is a drugstore, you know, like a cheaper brand, it is still kind of pricey. It's 32 Australian dollars. So if you are wanting to try it out, I would recommend you wait till you can get it on sale. So yeah, $32, comes with 30 ml. And so it actually says here it's got like a fruit therapy ingredients. So it's got apricot for radiance, melon for hydration, apple for antioxidant, and ginger for energy. I can't really say I've noticed like any of that in my skin. I mean, it is a nice foundation, but I haven't really noticed how any of those have made a difference to my skin. I don't know, maybe you guys will notice. But yeah, I really like the smell of it as well. It's kind of like a really clean, fresh smelling foundation. I can't guarantee you guys will like it. Obviously, we all have different tastes, but I really like it. And yeah, although it is kind of pricey and the lasting power is pretty rubbish on this foundation, I still really like it and I would recommend it just because, I don't know, it just gives like a really nice satin finish. And although I have oily skin, it is getting quite colder here in Australia, so my skin is getting a little bit drier. And so I find that this one is just kind of like a nice balance for me. And as long as I've got my powder, you know, in my handbag to just touch up my T-zone during the day, it lasts nicely. And when it does start to fade away, like I said, it's not seeping into the pores, it's just kind of disappearing off the face. So yeah, thumbs up for me with this foundation. Give it a go if you guys are willing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And if you've got any questions about the foundation, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you straight away. Okay, see ya!